Paul Evans was a towering figure in radio and television, standing shoulder to shoulder with the legendary personalities who have etched their names into the records of broadcasting history in Belize. He made his name by being the technical mastermind behind most of what you heard and saw over the airwaves.
When I heard the news, I was actually on my way to Orange Walk for the carnival, and I just passed Ladyville, and I got a call from also a colleague of mine telling me about the tragic accident that happened at his home. No? And, I was very shocked to hear that from my colleague, because I had just spoken to Paul the week before it happened, no? And I was very shocked to hear that bad news.
Evans was at his home in Ladyville over the weekend and was having a few drinks when he reportedly fell from a second-floor veranda, impaling himself on a piece of steel that was jutting out of the concrete below.
And on Saturday, 21st day of September, police visited a house at Ladyville village where they saw the lifeless body of Paul Evans with an injury to his abdomen. Information is that he had been drinking, and when police visited the area, they saw him with a piece of steel in his abdomen. Police are investigating the circumstances of what transpired.
News of his death sent shockwaves across the industry, particularly among other seasoned technicians and cameramen. Videographer George Tillett began his career working under Paul Evans.
We started out as co-workers in the mid to the late 80s at Broadcasting Corporation of Belize. We were technicians for the radio. That was Radio Belize AM and Friends FM. And we both worked as repair technician. I was second to him. He was the main technician at that time. And Paul was very efficient in what he did.
His contributions were as impactful and enduring as those of the most celebrated icons in the industry. He was responsible for bringing a young Louis Sosa to Channel 5 in 1998. A few years earlier, they were also working at Radio Belize together.
He actually got me the job at Channel 5. He had pushed me to take the job along with Stuart Kroon, and that's where I started working with Paul.
What can you tell us about Paul as someone you knew very well?
He was very skillful with his job. He was one of the few broadcast engineers, TV engineers in Belize. He knew his job very well when it comes to TV broadcast transmitters and stuff like that. He used to help us with repairing and installation. He did that at Channel 5, and anytime I needed help to do repairs on the transmitters or antennas, he would be there for me, and side by side we worked together to get it done.
According to ACP Gilberto Romero, despite no telltale signs of a crime being committed, police are still investigating the incident.
This piece of steel is attached to the ground, so it appears that he fell on that piece of steel.
Any cause for foul play or something?
Not at this time, but an investigation is being carried out.
In July 2007, thieves hit a Channel 5 transmission site on the George Price Highway and stole several feet of copper wire from that facility. In that story, we interviewed Paul Evans.
At the Channel 5 transmission site, engineer Paul Evans estimates that at least 25 feet of cable was damaged.
They haven't taken any electrical equipment, they have taken it's just basically that they're after. They didn't touch any of the transmitting equipment. I mean, the only way we found out that this had happened over the weekend was that in the process of pulling the brackets off the wall, they disconnected a cable, and that made us, we had an off-air situation in Danguia, which is fed from here, and that's how we found out.
Evans, by all accounts, was virtually singular in what he has done for radio and television broadcasting in the country.
He was one of the pioneer engineers in the country, and I'm sure he would have done a good job in transitioning our station to digital TV. He was about to approach a project for us, and unfortunately he's not here again with us now.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.